What up, DBs? It's Coach D here from First Down DBs. I want to say thank you for your continued support. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Uh, and also, before we get into this video, I'm going to put my email in the description. If you're looking for drills, I have a video from my time at the University of Hawaii. I have about at least 50 college DB drills with me at the University of Hawaii. And a lot of guys in that tape actually made it to the NFL. Trevon Henderson, he played for the Bengals for a little bit. So if you're looking for drills, I have that. And so email that to me if you're interested. It's really cheap. I just want you guys to have all the information, all the drills you can get to be a better player, coach. All the parents out there that are looking for drill tapes for their kids, that'll be a good drill tape for you. So if you're looking for that, send me an email. So we're gonna go through Clark Phillips training camp video. So this is based on this video. The things we're going to learn about is one, how do you guard a taller receiver? So a lot of guys ask me, hey coach, I'm only 5'8", can I go D1? Coach, I'm only 5'8", can I go to NFL? He's 5'8". He's in the NFL. He's doing his thing. He was one of the best corners in the entire country last year, especially in the Pac-12. He went to University of Utah. So I'm going to play both of the clips, and then I'm going to go over what I see and what we can take from these clips. All right, so first and foremost, the reason why you don't want to go with two hands on a guy is because it locks your hip. All right. So you see how right now his hip isn't able to turn over. All right. So right now his hips are turning over. Look at his crossover run. All right. Running smoothly. But then when we try to grab, one is holding. All right. But two, notice how we get that hitch in our hip. All right. It stops turning over. So a small detail, but that small detail puts us from being hip to hip to trail. All right. And a good receiver is going to fight off that eventually, especially if they have all this field in the slot. So don't go with two and play with your hands first and foremost. All right. So now we're going to talk about in phase versus out of phase. So in phase. All right. So if you were in phase, you would be hip to hip with the guy, or at furthest. So the furthest you can be away, in my opinion, and still be in phase is if you can tap that guy on the hip. So whether you tap him with your palm or the back of your hand, you want to be able to tap him on your hip. So for kids, or just, I like visuals. So for instance, right, when you're walking through a crowd, let's say you want to get by somebody, all right, and you tap them on their hip, like, hey, I'm trying to get by. A small little tap on their hip, they'll understand that you're trying to get by. They'll move out the way. Now, that's normal, all right? Normal people do that. And someone probably won't freak out on you, you know, unless you're doing this, unless you're reaching. So now imagine fully extending your arm, all right? Now I want you to imagine this. Fully extending your arm through a crowd to tap someone on the hip. One, that feels weird. Two, that is weird. All right. So that's kind of the difference, right? Reaching to tap the hip and being in comfortable enough position to where you can place your hand on that hip. So that's the difference between in phase and out of phase. So we're in phase. Now, I feel like in order to get to that hip with our hand, we would have to reach for it. So you don't want to reach. All right. Now, if you're out of phase, you do not look for the ball. If you are in phase, you can look for the ball. So right now, if you're out of phase, the only thing you should be worried about, thinking about, is catching up, closing space, closing space. Now, there are some indicators that will give the ball away or give things away. So, for instance, if this receiver is not breaking stride and he's in a full sprint to this ball, that will tell you that the ball is going to be over the shoulder. But as soon as you feel like he's kind of coasting or he decelerates, that will tell you that the ball has a lot more air on it and he's trying to judge it, or it's going to be underthrown. So use that opportunity to, while he's not fully sprinting, you should be fully sprinting and you'll be able to close space in time like this DB. Now look, if he were to just place his hand here, I think he taps the hip. All right? He doesn't have to fully extend his arm to touch the hip. We are in phase. And notice how as soon as we're in phase, we get our head back. Okay? Now, here is what you want to do once you're in phase. You want to be in a lead position. So you want to be between him and the ball when the ball is landing. So look what he does with his forearm. Now, I said forearm. I didn't say hand. When I say hand, people that gives the idea that you want to grab. Use your forearm. Watch what he does with this arm right here. He's going to put his forearm on top of the receivers, and then as we're running, right? So if you're running, you're pumping your arm. So he's going to keep. You want it to be as natural as possible. So he's going to use his forearm, pull down on the receiver's arm, and you see how it puts the receiver's arm behind his. And now we use that opportunity to get in between him and the ball. All right, now we're going to watch it full speed. Look how quickly he does it. All right, so within one swing of the arm, all right, forearm over the top, pull down, take the space. Now it allows us to be in lead position for this ball. Now the receiver can't get comfortable with his jump. All right, I guarantee you the receiver has a higher vertical than 12 inches right now. All right, and he's the taller guy. But notice how when we take that lead position, when we're in the air, we're the taller guy. All right, so it makes it way harder for him to catch the ball when he has to fight over the top. So notice how he never really got that arm back that we stole. All right, so that arm happens to be the lowest because it has to go through our back. Look whose hand is the highest. All right, and we're not even jumping high. So that's a little trick you guys can pick up on when you get in phase. Don't reach, don't grab. Get in phase first. All right, then use the opportunity, get the forearm over the top, pull yourself through, and then make a play on the ball. So we're going to run through this play full speed again. Drake London's like 6'5". Again, 6'5" through versus 6'8" or 5'8". All right, so this is how you guard a taller receiver. Notice how you can't really see, but we're still fighting with that forearm to get over the top. And then notice how we want to put our shoulder into his chest, get our eyes back, and lean him. So you want to lean a receiver, right? But I like doing it this way because if you put your shoulder pad into his chest and turn, that automatically leans him. All right, and you don't want to look too early. You want to make sure you close space and get that shoulder pad to the chest. It's a huge difference. All right, because if you aim wrong and you get shoulder pad into his armpit, he can fight off of this. So if you can't get your shoulder pads on top, get your meaning his left shoulder over the top, meaning it's over here. Get it to the chest, turn, get your head back, locate the ball, and here's a tip. DBs, before every game, go up to the refs respectfully. All right, so either you send your DB coach over there, your head coach over there, or you go over there respectfully and ask the refs, how are you calling this game? Are you going to let us play? How are you going to call it? And they're going to give you a couple answers. Oh, well, I'm gonna let you play, but if I see Jersey, I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna let you play, uh, but as long as your head's back. So if your head's back, I don't really care what happens, or a couple other things, but they'll tell you exactly how they're calling it, and then you'll know what you can get away with. But 9 times out of 10, every single ref's gonna say, "Get your head back." If our head's not back and he tries to fight through this ball, that's PI. But because we get our head back as we're making contact when the ball's in the air, our head is back. All right. Now I'm not even sure if we can see this yet. Okay, but head back, locate the football, forces the taller guy to work through us here. So there's another clip. All right, let's watch this clip out. All right, so like I was telling you before, before I even talk, a lot of guys in their head right now, or a lot of guys in general, are gonna say that's a bad ball. If it was this, if the ball was here, if this, if that, if this, if that. All right, it is what it is. Okay, you got the best quarterbacks in the world throwing the ball in one-on-ones, no defense, no pass rush. All right, if the ball isn't perfect, that must mean it's not that easy to do. All right, so bring this to the quarterback you're going against at your level, college level and youth level. It is what it is. All right, so if you want to say if the ball is better, all right, well, if Aaron Donald was rushing, oh well, it's like it is what it is. It kind of bugs me when people say that because it's just excuses. You either executed or you didn't. But at the end of the day, this is a good example of reading the receiver's body language. All right, so we get into trail. When you're in trail, all right, you're not in phase. Again, can you tap the hip or would you have to reach? And I don't even think we can touch this hip if we reach. So if you can't, or if you're not in phase, you do not look back for the ball. And this is a lot of DB's problem is because they're beat and they look back. When you're not in phase, do not look back. You're looking to play the hands, okay? Or I'm sorry, you're looking to catch up. And if you never catch up, then you play the hands, okay? We never get in phase. Not in phase, not in phase, not in phase, not in phase. Not in phase here. But notice, what do you notice about the receiver's stride length? Good stride, good stride, good stride, good stride, good stride, good stride. Deceleration. All right, he goes from having long strides to breaking down, chopping his feet. That tells you that the ball is underthrown. Okay, so as you're running to get in phase, as soon as you see this is your opportunity. All right, this is your opportunity to catch up because we're thinking like, dang, we just got beat. God, we got beat. Dang it! All right, I'm about to be on Sports Center. Deceleration. Okay, you have a split second to get this right. Close space. Okay, as you're closing space, again, as he gets in phase, what does he do? In phase, head back. In phase, head back. And you guys have to practice this. All right, he's not just getting lucky. We train to make a play when we're in phase. We train to make a play when we're beat. Deceleration, ball is underthrown. Get in phase, get your head back, play through the hands. Great play. All right, so I'm sure he's not completely happy with this because he got beat off the line. All right, obviously you want to kick, you want to stay square, all those things, but I think that press technique is a video we can do another time, but I feel like more than anything, you're going to be in these situations. All right, so knowing and being disciplined with your eyes, out of phase, close space, close space, close space, close space. Deceleration, close space, head back once I am in phase. All right, I think those things will serve you just as much as keeping a guy at the line of scrimmage. I think this is more real life for a lot of guys. So appreciate you guys for taking a listen to this video. Again, I'm not editing these. It's just a lot of time, and I want to get these out to you as soon as possible, as much content as possible. I'm gonna be much more active. So again, I have a DB video. It's like 40 minutes long. Has like 50 plus drills that we did in college at the University of Hawaii. I want to make sure you guys have all the resources you can. It's really cheap, so email me. I'll send that out to you personally. Not many places are going to have this. All right, so and I don't want to just kind of put it out there. I wanted to personally give it to you guys. So if you have any questions, if you're looking for that, go ahead and email me. I appreciate you guys again. Again, make sure you comment, subscribe, and if you have any video ideas or things you want to see, go ahead and drop that in the comment box as well. Appreciate you guys.